These championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
In the early 50s, an obscure racer from Florida made a decision to go with Mopar parts because he thought it would give him an advantage. Turns out, he was right.
Hi, I'm Don Garlitz. Hitting 247 miles an hour in a little over 5 seconds is a thrill few of us ever experience. The Navy pilot reaches speeds over 3 times as fast every day. You may not be able to pilot a top dragster like this one, but if you qualify, you can fly a Navy jet at over the speed of sound. Look to your future, flying Navy.
That was a Dynamite Run.
The race, such as this one here in Phoenix, brings people in from all over the United States, from New York, Florida, Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, California, Colorado, Texas, even cars around the Arizona area. And this gives the competitors from all areas a chance to get together and compete against people that they don't know, that they've heard about, read about in magazines, or looked in different trade magazines, and see if they are the best in their class.
A lot of my friends say, how come you like to work out here on the front gate when all the action is inside? Well, I do get a chance to see some of the big Dynamite runs, but to me, at least, the greatest part of drag racing is people. And this is where I see them coming through the gate. There's new faces at every meet, and old friends, and some that I think are pretty special. But I smile for everybody and make them feel welcome. After all, most of them have come a long way to be here.
When the racers come in the gate, they immediately go to the tech area where the tech man will inspect the car for safety features and check the car to find out what class it falls in the rule book. There is a class for everyone, and it's very simple to check a car into a class because we use methods that are visible, such as one carburetor puts them in one class, 2 carburetors put them in a different class, V8 goes in one type class, a 6-cylinder goes in another type class. So the classification is based upon the type of engine and the type of body. On the windshield, they mark the class the car runs in, and the number that is given to the car for that event. In drag racing, we have over 200 classes.
We race not only for the feeling of accomplishment that we get, but it's nice to be with the other people that enjoy it too. You meet all kinds of people, and what's really fantastic is it's really a family affair. You get the wives and the children out there rooting for Dad and helping him in every way they can, and it's a real experience.
Spectator gains something that a drag race he can't get at other races, in that as the cars are running, the sound and the smoke, you can feel the smoke, smell the smoke. So I think drag racing appeals to more of the senses than many of the other auto sports. So the spectator feels that he can feel drag racing and observe at the same time.
I've gotten used to looking at cars now, you know, what they look like, how good they sound, you know, how well they run, the size of the engine, the size of the carburetor, you know, and whether it's hydraulic lifters, you know, or whatever. I've gotten so used to cars now, a lot of my friends, you know, call me the mechanic.
People can determine what kind of automobile it is, and that's the reason funny cars are so popular now. Funny car is sort of a dragster with a loud body on it. We use the same type of engine as a AA fuel dragster, blown fuel Chrysler most everybody uses, and just use a fiberglass replica of a manufactured automobile.
It takes a lot of people to put on a championship race. We have the tower crew, that keeps the announcing, the scoring, the records. We have the starting and staging crew, which make sure that the cars come into the lanes and are in the right lanes, and that the cars proceed down the track correctly. It takes pit stewards, technician, ET personnel, and safety crew to make sure that the track is run smoothly at all times.
The timing of a drag race, the actual electronic timing of the event, is very critical. It's a highly complex system, and we deal in thousandths of a second. The timing system does not start when the tree turns green, as some people believe, but actually when the car pulls away from the starting line. That's why some guys will wait and leave a little bit late. They want to make sure that their car is in complete preparedness before they leave the starting line. And of course it shuts off when they hit the finish line 1,320 feet away. And this is how a racer judges the way that his car is reacting, the way that he's got his chassis or his clutch set, and his own driving capability. When a racer does burn out at the starting line, he's really just trying to heat his tires for maximum starting line advantage. Those tires work best when they're red hot, and after the racer does his burnout, he tries to back up right back into the tire tracks that he made when he was smoking the tires. Theory being that the live rubber reacts best when it's on a hot surface, and of course if they can get right back into their tire tracks, that's where the track is the hottest. And if a guy doesn't get bite out of the gate, then the show's over before it ever starts. What it's all about is the ET, the elapsed time that it takes to get from point A to point B, and that's what tells the story as to whether they're doing things right or whether they need to go back and start sorting things out all over again. The driver is usually one of the last guys to know what kind of an ET he recorded. He might think that he had a Dynamite Run, and in fact it was a shambles because of a little error that he made. Or he might think that things weren't really too slick, and in fact he set a new record in his class, which is truly the most exciting part. And the crowd enjoys this, but it's really interesting to note that after any type of a run, the last person to know for sure what kind of a run it was is the driver, and they're usually excited one way or the other.
Drag racing, you run 1,320 feet, and every split second counts, so you cannot let one little thing go wrong. The cars are meticulously checked. The horsepower is such a factor that they will make minute changes in the motor, slight jetting changes, slight advance, because in drag racing it's performance that counts. So the drivers and mechanics have to keep working on these cars. Each run, they log in the times they run and what they did to the car. They'll make another little change, make another run, see if it helped any at all, because a hundredth of a second means a difference in winning or losing in a drag race.
Year after year, like Garlits has been the top fuel champion for almost 20 years now. And Garlits is truly exciting to watch in that he never makes the same mistake twice, and he has an inherent knowledge, kind of a sixth sense about the way to drive his car. He adapts his car to changing conditions, be it track conditions or tire conditions or weather conditions, faster than anyone else, and it's based solely on his experience. And all the other racers, even the ones that say that they're out to get Garlits, watch him at all times with a deep admiration for his ability to read the tree, to read the other drivers. You never catch the old man asleep.
One time on a run, when I'd set a top time, an announcer at a track called me Big Daddy. Yeah, I thought, well, I might as well use it, so I painted it on my helmet and later painted it on my car.
I think Garlits is probably one of the greatest guys in the world for trying to psych somebody out sitting there.
Well, that's how come he wins so many races. Now he's got the guys hopped up so bad they want to beat him. And they make a lot of mistakes. They'll red light, they overstage. Guys put too much power in the motor. Garlits just keeps on going. And he is good enough now that mistakes fall his way.
Well, in my particular case, I do the mechanical work on my car. I'm not trying to take anything away from the guys, but my people are helpers. They're not allowed to tune the engine or build the engines, because I ride the car. I've always done it myself, and I continue to do that. When I can't take care of my car myself, I'm not going to race. You got to have a close relationship. For some reason, you got to have good communication. And sometimes it's not as good as it looks like it is. You want one thing, you're motioning for one thing, they're doing another. Especially with all the noise. Like when the engine's running, it's very difficult to get a communication because the noise is so obnoxious that the minds don't really work real good at that time.
It's hard to compete against the professionals because they do get more backing money. I'm a professional hobbyist, and they're very hard to beat, these professionals, but we can compete with them. We're not scared of them. I'm known as a lever. I leave quick, I leave hard. My car runs good. As far as equipment goes, I got as good as equipment as they got when I stage the line. It's just that they got 4 motors and I'll have 1. My name is Jim Dunn.
Well, financially, we haven't expected a whole lot. It's a lot of fun to get some money, but we like to just have fun at it. But when we win some money, it usually goes right back into the race car. So if you break even, that's fine. And if not, well, you get in there and work harder to get a little bit of money to put some more to it and make it run better. Drag racing is just my hobby. I'm a 3rd grade elementary school teacher, but I like to come out on the weekends and blow some steam.
Oh, it's expensive, no doubt about that. It's hard to stay in when the car eats up the green stuff. Only the top 10 pros make the real good money. Guys like Tom McEwen.
Tom McEwen is a racer, he's a thrasher, he's a gentleman, and I guess it could best be said that he asks no quarter and he gives none. He expects the people that he competes against to attain the same level of professionalism that he's got. And it's really refreshing because he knows he's an entertainer and the people are there to see him run hard. And he'll do whatever's necessary to make his car run hard each and every time. And if by some fluke he gets eliminated before the finals, he's not above taking his parts or his motor, his $10,000 motor, and going and helping out somebody else just to help them get a shot at the final.
I like to win, but I like to beat a guy. I don't like to win on luck. And if the guy can beat me, then he deserves to beat me. I learned to race when there was no money in drag racing. So to me, winning the race is the big thing, and having a good time is a big thing. I've won $100,000 during a year's time in just prize money, not counting sponsors. I've grossed as much as $400,000 in a year from sponsors and prize money. And a lot of money goes through my hands in a year. Of course, I don't keep it all. Like I say, I cost a lot of money for help and parts and fuel and so on. We're not under ideal working conditions. You know, at homes we have nice dust-free garages we put these engines together with, and then we have all the latest technical stuff and the best machinery money can buy. These trailers that you see here are equipped pretty much like our garages. We can do about anything we have to do in these trailers right outside in the dirt like this. We're used to working under these conditions, and you just don't think about it after a while. We can change engines in an hour between races. We can change pistons. We can change bearings. We can change heads. We can do it laying right out here in the dirt and asphalt.
You know, I've seen guys with big money come into this business, but in the long run, they can't beat the Mongoose and Big Daddy.
They come in and they beat us a couple of times, and they break a lot of equipment, and suddenly they realize there's no profit in it that way. And if they set their equipment to run with us, we'll beat them on experience. So they soon become disenchanted with that program. I've seen millionaires come in this sport and go right out of it because they still have to buy the same aluminum rods and the same Hemi blocks, and it doesn't make any difference how many million you got back at the farm. They still only go to the line with one motor.
Just a real challenge is drag racing. Even when you really think you know what you're doing, it'll jump up and slap you in the face to show you don't. And when you're going along and you make a lot of money, all of a sudden something will happen. You need to spend it on the race car. And about the time you're about to quit because you're broke, it'll throw you some crumbs. It'll let you win a race and give you just enough money to keep you going again. It's like a disease, I guess. And you eat, sleep, live drag racing. You talk about it. That's all you think about, how you can improve your car, how you can leave the starting line good. And you got these young kids coming up all the time. When you've got kids out there 18 years old with real good reflexes that are trying to shoot you down the starting system and everything. And it's just a matter of training yourself when you have trouble going down the track. You have a fire or anything. You don't even think, like myself, I don't think, well, I should do this or I should do that, because you don't have time to think about it. I just normally put the parachute out or turn the fire extinguisher on or whatever. I just do it normally. And I think that's why I'm still around. I love these big races like this one, national events. I find that is still there after all these years.
I've never seen a more cooperative bunch of people that are willing to help you anytime you need assistance with parts, with information. Even though you may be driving against one person in a lane next to you, if you have a problem, he's liable to jump out of his car and come over and help you. It's a learning experience. Every person that you talk to has different ideas about how to make cars run. And the more experience you can get talking to different people, the wider your experience becomes, and then you can help other people. And that's the way it works. Someone helps you, you learn, and you turn around and help other people. And it's a never-ending process. We bring new people into the sport all the time. There's more enjoyment, there's more spectators, and there's more money, then there's more pride. That's the biggest thing.